Never talk about politics, religion, or 9/11. That's what I'm learning. No, seriously. I've just wobbled the Twin Towers there. Now that's just proves it, doesn't it? A little bit of vibration. They aren't going to go anywhere. Anyway, the trouble is with talking about 9/11, people don't like it, really, generally speaking. It's very difficult to get your foot in the door to talk about it, unless you're sort of with a minister or somebody who's really understanding about wants to talk and see how you're going on and stuff like that. You're coming out and saying you get the wrong impression, and as soon as they think you're talking about a conspiracy, I don't want to know, it's conspiracy, So, I mean, if you mention it, you can't win, really, because if you mention it occasionally, they'll think you're a bit of a kook or something, and then if you go on about it to educate them with videos, educational videos, they'll still think, oh, he's going on about that. It takes a certain amount of consciousness raising to get the penny to drop, that there's a problem, I'm not trying to push my theories on other people or anything, but anyway, I've just made this little model of the World Trade Center. So there's the Twin Towers here, Building 1 and Building North Tower, South Tower, and Building 7. I know it's not to proportion. The Twin Towers are probably a bit higher, but you know what I mean, just roughly. There's Building 5 and other things. The 9/11 hotel here, which was very close to the Twin Towers. I mean, Building 7 should have stayed looking like that, really. But Building 7, at 5:20 in the afternoon, goes down like this, like it's disappearing in a hole in an elevator. It's the neatest controlled demolition you can ever see. Anyway, let's start with Tower 1. So imagine this is Tower 1, right? So the plane impacts, as the official story goes, the plane impacts about just under floor 15 floors down, I think it was. Got the antennae here. Just pretend there's an antennae there. So the official story is the plane goes in. Yeah, we all saw that. The fireball is mainly outside the building. Yeah. Yeah, and so you've got the plane going in, and the official story, it melts the steel, and one of the official stories is a pancake theory where the floors drop down and all the weight goes down, right? But when you analyze the video of the day, this top section is like a controlled demolition in itself. It's gone, it's crushed before it starts to move down here. Before it starts to crush the rest of the building, it's destroyed itself. So anyway, the official story is the plane goes in, breaks some of the columns, melts the steel, and breaks all the stuff up, and the fire does the rest, and then the weight of it comes down and crushes it, and it falls like this at free fall speed. We can all see that because it was between 10 and 12 seconds that both buildings came down. I mean, I don't believe it exactly like that, as you know, but that's the official story, that once it's done its job there, that the whole thing comes down, and it's the weight of it, and the pancake theory where the floors drop and the puffs of smoke come out the side, I don't believe that. That's just the official story. But it's impossible, because if that weight there, the 15 floors and the antennae, and the weight of the plane, which is probably mainly the engines, what's left of the plane, undercarriage engines, it can't possibly pile drive itself down there at near free fall speed, because there's 80,000 tons or more healthy structural steel here. And if you look at the video footage just before the towers collapse, the smoke is black smoke. That means it's oxygen starved, it's not raging. The towers were healthy, in healthy condition. There's no reason to think the towers would come down at that point. So really, it's wrong, And the South Tower here, the plane goes in, as we all saw. That was a bit lower down, wasn't it, nearly? Between a quarter and a third the way down, goes in. Most of the explosion is outside the building. So most of the fire's gone burnt up anyway. And then later on, that was the first one the second plane to be hit, but the first tower to go down. It tilts a little bit over to the edge, which means that not all the weight is going down through the tower anyway. The same again, free fall speed, impossible. So yeah, and then later on at 5:20, the Building 7 comes down like that, even though it wasn't hit by a plane, you see. So yeah, and they found evidence of explosives all over Ground Zero, which the government said were chips of paint, and it's not chips of paint. They're 3 separate R.J. Lee Company, Stephen Jones, and I think FEMA or somebody like that. They found the iron microspheres of high explosives that they use for demolition. Now, people have said, oh, it was maybe the terrorists, but your terrorists can't do that. They can't go in a building and start rigging it for several weeks. Yeah, so, but the problem is with when you're talking about 9/11, from my point of view, the people who shut you up, I don't want to know, it's 25 years ago, let's move on. They're behaving like the owner of the Twin Towers, of the complex, because the man who got them to pull Building 7, obviously a controlled demolition, that's his attitude, it's so far on, let's move on. Now, when people quiz him about it, well, there's so many witnesses, technically. What they don't tell you is there were so many witnesses that heard explosions before the towers came down. Once the plane's gone in, there shouldn't be many more big explosions apart from gas canisters, generators. And I think there were half a dozen generators in one tower alone, weighing 6 tons each, and there were nothing left of them. They were vaporized. Almost like in a nuclear bomb, Remember the cars around the car park? Then they come out and say, well, we can't understand this. But the evidence is there that, like at the Pentagon, for example, we can't understand, but there's nothing I can see, no evidence that shows an airplane's gone into it, a Boeing airliner. But what they were saying is true, and we took it in, thinking it's so big, America's so big, SWAT teams and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they can run around rigging things up. No, they can't. The reporters are telling the truth, and the truth is coming out. It's a bit like the Jimmy Savile. The truth is eventually going to come out, probably slower than that, a slow release, but you can't do it like that. And we're told all these things, and they're saying it there themselves that there's no evidence. Same Shanksville plane, no wreckage was ever found there. No wreckage at the Pentagon. There's all sorts of things about 9/11. So this is why I show the education.